This time on Roadworthy Rescues, Derek and I are bringing a legend of Van Nuys Boulevard back to life.
Yes! Nail it! This week, a guy's way out in Lompoc, California, where I bought this really cool 1940 Chevrolet Coupe. Now, I really don't know anything about this car other than it's been off the road for probably around 40-ish years. It's got a big block that currently knocks. That's great. And allegedly, this was the terror of Van Nuys back in the day, street racing. Now, this is the first time I'm actually seeing this car in person. I bought it after seeing a couple photographs that a friend sent me. So let's walk around this thing and see what it's going to take to get back running on the street and maybe even racing in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. Smells like a sweaty roller skate full of broccoli and dentures. Musty, with just a hint of fungus. I like it, actually. The interior is great. That's done. Check it off. They look like kind of 70s van looking seats, like the Winnebagos or something. Was orange at one time. Now a very pleasant, kind of tan, cowhide-ish, deerskinish, medium tan brown. Anyway, what do we got? Slide in this puppy. Of course, you gotta have the 3-blade steering wheel. Was chrome. Amperes, oil pressures, and water temps. That's all you need. There's no tack. This guy just shifted by ear, apparently. Whole bunch of lights. We don't know what they do. Bunch of switches. Don't know what they do. It has a key. I believe that's a Ford key, actually. And a fuel gauge thing in the glove box. Oh, speaking of which, we never even saw a fuel cell in the trunk, did we? That's interesting. That's really about it. Oh, here's the shifter. That seems fine. It's a Select-O-Matic 9000. Brakes. Don't worry about that either. So far, no fuel, no battery, no brakes, no shifter. But we have a key. Special Deluxe. Love the chrome and the trim and just the overall shape of these cars. It's beautiful. All right. Okay. There we go. The block of bigs. I finally own gold valve covers. Sweet. Wow, the wiring is very astronautish. I've seen that before in a 70s built drag car I bought, and it was a nightmare. I think the previous owner was an electrician. Looks very much like a fuse panel in a 50s house. Great, wiring's my favorite. Anyway, we've got a 454 in here. It's already got an intake. She's got a Holly on it, double pumper. I mean, it looks like it was probably the real deal. Old Valerie Mark II ignition. Really cool fender exit headers. Kind of wrap around the frame and down under. I don't think this is hooked to anything. Whoa, it is not. Kind of limited on what I can do here. It's got a transcooler. Automagical transmission. It's got the original front end and brake system, which is going to be a nightmare because, as you know from me doing 40s, 50s, 30s cars, is the master cylinder is under the floor on the frame. My favorite. Okay, here's what we're going to do. This is clearly a basket case. I've only got a few days to get this thing going. Hot Rod Ranch is actually right down the road. I'm going to call up those guys, see if we can borrow a truck and trailer, haul this down to their shop. And I've got a friend on the way that's going to try to help me put this thing back together on the street. And I might even call him out for a drag race. we've made it to Hot Rod Ranch. They've got tools galore and hot rod parts, so if we get into a pickle, guys should be able to find some around here, maybe do some trading or some bartering. Pretty excited to tear into this. So we've got the coupe pushed back into the Hot Rod Ranch here, and as you can see, it's full of parts and tools. I think we're going to be just fine, but I've only got a few days to get this car back together, so I'm obviously going to need some help, and I needed someone with not only knowledge of hot rod history, but the ability to actually throw some wrenches around, and I somehow roped the one and only Freiberger into helping.
Ta-da! I think this is my fault, isn't it?
This is absolutely your fault. He actually sent me this listing and said, you need this, and I
was right.
Yes. So what do you think of this thing, Freiberger?
I love it. I saw it up here before you bought the thing, and it's just perfect. You know, there's no way you could go better. Van Nuys Boulevard, like 1974, 75 kind of era.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
So we're told, and I've heard a cell phone video of this engine knocking. So that's probably the first thing we've got to address is figuring out what this engine's going to do or not do.
Okay.
So should we try to get this thing just idling?
Running? Yeah, that's usually my rule. Start the thing first, find the problem. Because what if it's like a flex plate bolt?
Right,
or,
something simple.
You know, a rod hitting a oil pump pickup or something like that.
That would be ideal.
It's a big block Chevy. Nothing can stop me. That's my theory.
That's why he's here.
Yep. All right, let's fire it up.
All right. See if we get this hood off, I guess. Ah, there we go.
That was easy. Launch. These headers are art. And the T-handles for the valve covers. Oh, it's got the old Mallory distributor. Let's see. Is it like a Unilite? No, it's a dual point. Epic. Love it. I hope that works.
Old Mark II ignition coil.
Here's the thing with dual point distributors. Remember that the coil saturates when the points are closed. And in the old days, guys would keep them closed as long as they could to get as much spark as they could. And when you have a dual point, what happens is they offset each other just a little bit so that they're closed longer and the coil saturates longer. And also it means that each set of points can open about half as much so you can run to higher RPM. So that's what a dual point's all about. Oh, it's also got a torque strap. See the cable around the frame?
Oh, sweet.
Yep.
So a bad motor mount.
Yeah.
Great.
Uh-huh. Look at the radiator cap. Is this the original radiator? That is tiny for a big block. That's going to be a problem. But look at this. It's like vertical.
That is bizarre.
Oh, I know what it is.
It's upside down.
It's sideways.
Or side. Oh, you're right.
Yeah. It's a radiator from another car that's been put in
Here's
vertically.
the trans-cooler lines.
Yep, that's it.
So it has been upgraded.
This is like I built it.
Okay, battery install.
And the bolt's missing, so here's your clamp.
Brothers from another mother. Working with the vice grips. Okay. So far, I think we're off to a really good start here. I got a red light in here.
Something clicked.
Headlights? No way.
Yes, headlights work.
Wow. Okay. That must be ignition then.
Okay.
Push button doesn't do anything.
Yes, it does.
That's the key.
Okay. There we go. That's fuel. Make it go boom.
Okay. Questionable switches or flips. Go again. Hey.
That runs.
Oil pressure. 55 pounds of oil pressure.
Let's go.
So I'm mocking in a temporary fuel system here. We got a clicky-clacky, and we'll just jam that into a drill battery or something. Stab this into some gas. We want to see what this thing does once it warms up a little bit. So we'll put some water in the water heater, maybe even let this thing idle for, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, and see if we can start troubleshooting the noise that Gil heard. And I've actually heard it over a cell phone video, and it sounded pretty bad. We got to start tracking down if it makes noise and where it's coming from.
Seems good so far. Oh, hear that?
Now I hear it now.
That sounds up top to me.
I just said it almost sounds lifter, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We're just going to quickly pop this valve cover and see if we can find a loose rocker arm. Do any of them push down like the lifter is soft? No.
No. The other thing I'm noticing is the thread reveal is similar.
Yeah.
Usually if one has been worn out and someone's trying to quick fix it, they'll run this nut down to take up that difference.
I don't know how to work this key. You got a manual?
Bump it one more, it came back.
That moved.
It's got great oil pressure. That's not it. We're gonna go with the most hopeful theory is we've got a bad flex plate here. Freiberger's gonna crawl underneath. I'm gonna try to turn this thing over by hand. He's gonna inspect the bolts, all the hardware, make sure they're tight. But what can happen is these are kind of a hub-centric design where they slip over the crank there, and there could be a crack from there up to one of the bolts, or from bolt to bolt even. And as it's running or rotating, especially under throttle, they'll flex and move, and they'll make a knocking or squeaking or clanking or all sorts of weird noises.
There's no witness mark on the ring gear of grindage. You don't see anything, right?
No, it looks... I don't see anything.
No, nothing touching. And
Well, that's a stock-looking converter, isn't it?
it's way stock. That's a 12-incher. If you give me the listener, I'm ready for you to start it with me down here.
Okay. Going straight to level 5 danger.
Certainly in park, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Chested. Okay, cranking.
I don't hear anything. There it is. I can't hear anything in the bottom end.
It almost sounds like a rattling almost.
Yeah.
Is that cable?
That would be ridiculous.
I mean, that's a similar noise.
It is. There's a torque strap, which is just simply a about 3/8 around cable wrapped around the motor mount. That would be
Right.
epic. Yeah. Here,
Because the motor's shaking.
yeah. Here, let me wedge it. That would be amazing. Okay, I'm ready.
I don't hear it.
Neither do I.
There it is.
It's not moving.
I don't hear it anymore.
I don't hear it. Right now, it looks like that torque cable was hitting the frame because I moved it. Now we can't hear the problem.
All I hear is valve train now.
Race car.
Fixed.
Fixed.
Yes. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to tag team this thing really quick. We're going to drain the water out of this thing, get the carbon intake off. We got to clean up the heads, the china walls here. We're going to put in some room temperature vulcanization cream, do it right. get these rubber gaskets out, and that's one big leak back here. And then by then, hopefully it's cool enough we could drop the oil on this thing, put a new filter in. I think that O-ring is shot. It's leaking there as well. And then we'll fill it back up with fluids again. And we're going to time it. Timing seems to be a little weird on this right now. And it's going to run perfect.
We're reinstalling our vintage Holley Street Dominator intake manifold. This thing is a single plane. I really wanted this engine to have a dual plane on it. Dual planes have longer runners, which make better low-end torque, especially with this, which I'm pretty sure has a stock cam in it. So this isn't the optimum intake manifold, but it's the one we have. We have one bolt hole with really sketchy threads in it. It's about to strip, and the rule is he who owns it wrecks it. So Derek is working on fixing that thread.
Oh my God. Oh no.
You didn't. He just dropped the washer down the distributor hole. How far down the distributor hole? Did it go all the way?
I think I can see it.
Is it on top of the drive shaft?
I think it actually hooped the pump
The drive shaft? Perfect. We need a magnet.
I did.
You hooped the drive shaft?
Yep.
That is skills. Wow. There's another rule, which is if you're going to drop a washer down inside the engine, you also have to be the car owner. This is like Operation when you were a kid, remember?
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely buzzing it.
In the hole, there's actually a drive shaft that spins the oil pump, and he looped the washer over the drive shaft. That's skills. I'm guessing because it's pulling up on one side, it's wedging the washer in.
It's not even pulling the washer because it wants to magnetize the pump shaft and not the washer. Oh, I found it.
Really?
Right there. So it is...
right here?
It's number 7. Yep. I'm an idiot. Listen, we were trying to spice things up today, and might have went a little overboard, but okay, I'm gonna not move.
It's not there.
No! Oh, I found it again.
Okay. If you clear, I can get it. I see it.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, this is gonna be a victory. Wait.
Yes!
Oh,
Victory! Thanks, Freiberger.
that was pretty good.
Let's tape the distributor hole closed, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Exciting carburetor action. See, Derek called me before we set out on this venture and was like, this thing needs a carburetor. What should I get? And I said, the Brawler Full Race 850 CFM double pumper. This is like a lower cost line of higher end carburetors, I guess is the way I put it. They're from Holley. There is a basic version that we probably could have used and likely should have, but this one's black with red blocks on it and anodizing and stuff. And so it's gonna run pretty good. The calibration on these is pretty well spot on.
Oh yeah, this is coming out now. Maybe. I have seen some things, but never a radiator sideways. This is how it should be in a vehicle.
Dum, bum, bum.
Well, it's getting late into the evening. I think we're going to call it a day, but we did do some things today, Freiberger.
Things. Yeah.
We debunked, maybe, some sort of weird knock rattle thing.
Yeah.
Changed the oil.
Pulled the washer out of the valley.
That was
the highlight of my day. Changed the distributor, got new intake gaskets, new carburetor.
And we heard it run, which is great. We still don't know if it shifts. It definitely doesn't stop, but we'll make that happen soon. So we're gonna go Wet our back necks, eat some groceries. We'll see you in the morning. Well, day 2 here, Freiberger and I are in Lompoc, California at the Hot Rod Ranch, working on the 40 Chevy Coupe. Yesterday, well, we're still daydreaming we fixed a knock, but
Yeah.
maybe not. Today, what's the plan, Freiberger?
I think we continue to make the engine run, sort of actually run, like make a fuel system on it, put the radiator back in, hook up the transcooler so it doesn't puke everywhere. We'll cross our fingers that the Turbo 400 works, jack up the back of it, run through the gears, and all of that. If we can make it to the end of the day without touching the brakes, that'd probably be like a nice, happy thing.
We're on the same page. We're procrastinating brakes as much as we possibly can. So, all right, I'll do rad, cooler, lines, and then I guess we'll
Do plug wires, throttle linkage, start to mess with the fuel system.
All right. Yay.
Linkage here.
I am engine nerding a couple brackets, handful of them for the rad. I have to try and use the bolt hole provisions in the car, so that may involve actually TIG welding to the radiator. I am a pretty decent MIG welder. I am a terrible TIG welder. So, let's see what happens. Ouch. It's gonna work.
My sort of plan on spark plug wires is I always lay them in there and sort of eyeball it, and then I go back and cut and trim each one and make them fit nice. Also, watch how I do the distributor caps. Look how I've got 4 going off this way and 4 going off that way, and I just have to take a couple of wires and loop them, but it just looks way neater.
We think we're done up front. Freiberger has expertly and precisely ran the spark plug wires. Looks very good. Rad's in, carburetor's in. We need fuel delivery. This has a tank in it and some sort of electric pump, but we're just going to completely abandon all of that. That tank is actually under the back seat in this, and the fill neck is over here. We're going to put a fuel cell back here. We've already propped this up with this chunk of pipe that Freiberger found. We're going to drill a hole because it's a sump cell, so the bottom of the tank actually hangs down lower. We're going to bolt that in, run a fuel line out a rust hole down here, run a line up front, plug it in. We should be able to fire this thing back up. Let it idle for a while and just run.
We've just completed the fuel system as soon as I install this right there with one of the derrick clamps, which is a dislike for me, but I have to admit it is quick. All right, fuel system done. Are we at the point where we can fire it up and let it sit and idle and put it in gear and stuff?
I think so.
I think so.
Add fuel, add some water in the water boiler.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to immediately dump impurities in your new radiator.
All right.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Fuel pump works. Let me make that a little happier. I don't hear the death rattle yet.
No. Well, load it up now.
Yeah. That's quite a bit. using up gas in the bowl by hitting the squirter a bunch of times so that we can see if the float bowl level has been reduced. If you just let it sit and idle, it takes forever for it to seek its new level.
You can hear it revving up a little bit or faster. That's because it's snappier with the mixture, and then he'll bring the idle back down once he gets it more dialed there.
Go in a quarter over there.
Seems like it gets down.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Whoa.
Yeah.
But that's the normal way.
Right, go the other way.
Now we need to reverse it.
We're thinking we need an electric fan. It's getting hot idling here in the shop.
Okay, reversing motor. Finger remover.
Yeah.
Take one.
Luke, I am your father.
Ah! There's blades in there. Oh no! Go tape that off.
Oh, that one's a bleeder.
I was going to mount this up front, but the more I'm looking at it, I think I might actually put it on the firewall, because one's got to go to switched ignition right below it. One's got to go just right here to the alternator. One's got to go to the temp sender, and then just one will come up here to the fan, and we'll ground the fan up here somewhere backwards, because we're going to spin the motor in reverse so that it pushes instead of pulls. Okay, we've got temp gauge in here. That Freiberger expertly zip tied to the center. We're ready to fire it up again and try the gears once more. All right, clear? Starts great. Yeah. Reverse.
Reverse.
Neutral. Drive.
Yep, you got forward.
The great news is we've got a runner, we've got gears, it's staying cool. The fan hasn't even kicked on, hasn't needed to. Good enough. The bad news is this means we'll probably have to work on brakes now at some point.
But that's an us tomorrow problem.
Yeah. We're at the Hot Rod Ranch still in Lompoc, California, where just a few days ago this Chevy was sitting in a lean-to shed. It's been off the road for, I don't know, decades. We have it running, we have it moving, but we got a problem. We have no brakes, Freiberger.
Yeah, and this is day 3 of avoiding that job. The master cylinder on this thing is under the floorboards, which is just a nightmare. And I didn't realize that the clutch and brake pedal pivot went through the master cylinder, too.
Yeah, which is seized currently, so this is going to be a chore. So I'm going to start poking at this if you want to maybe see what's under the front wheels as far as hardware, if there's even wheel cylinders in there or what. Oh!
Just put that anywhere.
Yeah. That's up.
I got the drum off, and look, this thing has the original ball-bearing wheel bearings in it. It is not a tapered roller. It's old school. Brakes are all here. You know, when you get these old cars that have been sitting around a while, sometimes you'll pull a drum and there'll be no guts in it. But this has stuff.
It's pretty good.
It's unique.
So what I'm going to do is actually fill the master cylinder, which you do through the floor, and just pray that somehow, after 80 years plus, this is going to still move fluid. Yeah, there's juice coming out of it. Want me to hold this while you
Yep.
see what happens? Yeah,
Yep.
pedal moved.
Yepper.
We have the Freiberger luck, apparently.
If it doesn't blow all the cylinders out.
You tight again?
Yep, go. that junk works.
Hey, a different tire and wheel. These already have new tires on them, and essentially I'm just going to borrow these for this week. We're going to get these bolted on, and then we can get back to bleeding the rear brakes. Might look at the rear end, pop the cover off. It's a one-legger right now. Might have to fix that. Okay, go ahead.
Pumping. 1, 2, 3, 4. We already have so much pedal.
Okay, that concludes our bleeding session.
And pedal for days. Wow.
Nice. That's a big win. So under the rear of the 40 Coupe here, going to be addressing the rear end. We know from running it earlier that it's a peg leg, or only one tire gets power at a time. So doing burnouts is going to be not good. So I'm going to take off the differential cover here, get a look at the gears in here. We can hopefully figure out what gear ratio it is. It's probably like a highway gear, like a 308 or something like that. Hopefully not. And then we're going to do what's called a Lincoln locker. I am just going to simply weld up all of the spider gears in here so that when we ramrod this thing, both tires are going to be getting power at the same time. And it should help our launches if we're going to be doing any sort of drag racing or doing burnouts and stuff. Bam! Poor man's posse, thanks to Lincoln.
Derek's in the back making a soccer ball of weld out of the rear end as he suffers from the impression that this thing will have the power to spin both tires. Meanwhile, I've been assigned to install the shifter, which is incongruously billet for this car, and also has a rear cable entry, which is going to make this a little bit of a challenge. But we're going to hideously mount this right here and reach for it as we shift. And then I'll run the cable through the floor and attach the end of that cable to the transmission, and we will have shifting for the Turbo 400 that likely doesn't work. We haven't found that out yet. First, second, third, neutral, reverse, park.
Okay. I just had to keep these wheels. You know, we were kind of fighting the same thing in the front, but I couldn't get a wide enough tire to go on this 10-inch wide wheel. And Freiberger was kind enough to loan me his ET drags off the General Mayhem. We got them mounted on that same wheel, of course. Just gonna throw it up here and look for fitment. This has been pretty gnarled up and stuff like that. These are slightly bigger than the tires that were on here. So I just want to see what this is gonna say. And so far it is saying not going to fit. Yeah, that's an issue. After a little bit of wrenching, this car is ready to hit the road after sitting off of it for decades. I think we can actually maybe find a beach or the ocean from here. Let's go see what we can find.
It's moving!
Oh, it pulls so hard.
Yeah, that's brake adjustment, I believe. Pretty amazing.
Second gear.
Yeah. You want to try the brakes? Wow!
It's livable.
We can adjust that brake if we were ambitious.
Nothing smoking or on fire?
That's true. And the rat smell is not excessive, not overheating. It's 140. headlights work on this thing. I'm actually jealous now.
Well, after many years off the road, it's back.
So good.
This thing is staying cool, it's shifting. I mean,
Braking.
there's a lot of things I like about this car that actually don't make sense. For example, we came here fully expecting to rebuild this engine.
Totally.
I still can't believe it was just a cable. Or if it is knocking, we can't hear it.
Which is fine with me.
Yeah, that's great.
Ignorance is bliss.
We got open headers. That fixes everything. We just threw a new carb on this. Radiator, cooling fan. Not much. Welded up the rear.
Yeah.
We didn't have to do a lot.
Yeah, low effort, big win. The thing really drives nice.
And we really can't do anything to the exterior. This is about perfection at this point. So it's going to stay looking just like this. But now that we know it's street drives, should we see if it could have potentially raced back in the day? Do it again?
Do it again? I knew
Yes.
this was coming. I'm thinking my 56 Chevy is the unit.
Okay, they would look rad together
It would
for
look
sure.
really good.
Nice.
So I'm thinking we can put together maybe a 500-foot drag race. It's not going to be full on, but
That's probably all this has in it.
Yep.
We'll just line them up. Can you drive us there? I don't know how to get there.
oh yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
sweet. All right, we're going to go race the 56 Chevy, the field car, versus the 40 Coupe. See what happens. We're here at Santa Maria Airport in the back 40 where we've got some room to play around and race. What do you got here, Freiberger?
Well, this is the 56 Chevy known as the field car. It's been on both Roadkill and Roadkill Garage. Right now, it's loaded with a 406 small block, makes 570 horsepower. It'll run to 7,000 RPM. American powertrain 6-speed and a Ford 9-inch with, I think it's got 456s in it. So I'm ready to break parts.
So you're saying there's a chance I can win? No.
You know there is, because I'm going to annihilate the tires on this unprepped surface. And we know this thing hooks up because it's gutless. So you'll be in the wind and I'll be back here making smoke.
Oh, that's my only hope. We'll see what happens. If we got just enough room, I might be able to hit second gear. It's going to be great. Well, let's line them up. We'll just do a heads up, see what happens, and maybe you'll let me take a hit or something after that.
Oh,
After
for
you
sure.
destroy me.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Okay, cool.
Good luck. You're going to need it. This is more like street racing back in the day than drag racing.
Yeah, traction killed me.
Oh, wow. You blow the tires off? Yeah. Ah, you got me. Ooh, I smell brakes.
him at the top end. That was so cool. That was a riot. That was also 7,500 RPM of tire spin. Wow, that was cool. He also treed me pretty bad.
Freiberger wins in the field car. Oh, that's awesome. Yes! Oh, it was so good.
Freiberger, you annihilated me. That was brutal.
You know, I was thinking about it, and I did. The thing is, both of these cars are wicked cool. Mine just has a lot of more destruction potential.
Right. There's a lot of violence going on there. It was fun, though. I got you one time when you blew the tires off.
Yeah, completely. But that drag race where I spun the tires hard and came past you, that was just like so two-lane blacktop, so American graffiti. I loved it.
It was incredible. I was screaming the whole way. My face hurts from smiling. You know, it lost the race, but just a few days ago, I was sitting in a shed. It's been off the road for years. We got so lucky on this car, the engine not actually being blown up. We didn't really have to do that much.
No, it was easy. I had a great time, and we've benched Race a lot about how we can make his car more violent.
Yeah, I think so. Well, thanks for all the help this week. It's been incredible. And that's going to do it for this episode of Roadworthy Rescues, but stay tuned. There's plenty more to save. Let's go cruise these things, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
This time on Roadworthy Rescues, I get a 60 El Camino back on the road for the first time in 30 years. Ooh. Next stop, Cadillac Ranch. This is going to be really cool.
This week on Roadworthy Rescues, a guy has found himself in the panhandle of Texas, where I bought this 1960 Chevrolet El Camino. Plan is I don't have one. I do want to get it running, clean it up, put it back on the road, however, for the first time in 20 years. Now, most people are familiar with the El Camino, but don't really know a lot about them. It was a knee-jerk reaction to the wildly successful Ford Ranchero, which came out in '57. This is a first-gen built on the Biscayne platform. So let's go ahead and walk around this rig, see what it's going to take to put this thing back on the road. And I think we'll start in the back here, because the whole truck, car, trark thing we got going on. Well, one of the first things I'm noticing is a lack of rust. It's alarming. I'm not used to that, but we'll take it. The other thing is it's been painted. It was this pretty teal color, which a lot of them were. It's been two-toned at some point in its life. Back here on the business side, we got a plate last registered in '94. We got a brake juice bottle. Means we don't got brakes. That's weird. And then I'm noticing a bullet hole back here. We got shattered glass in the back and bullet holes in the front. That tells me we are, like I say, in Texas. So it was target practice. All right, let's jump in the cabin of this thing, see what we got going on the inside. Okay, well. Smells like a baby changing table with antique store dust on it. It's tantalizing. It's kind of nice, actually. Grandma's carpet, looking pretty good. Check this out. Heard about them swiveling seats. What about the fully removable? There is no hardware, holes in the floor, anything. There is this Jurassic Park skull, though, that I'm going to make a necklace out of. Rip, rip. Welcome to Roadworthy Rescues. I love these gauges. 59 and 60 were basically the same. This one shows 82,655.2 miles. Don't have an ignition stick. Oh, don't need one. You know, the 40s through mid-60s GM cars, they all do that. We got an Automagical based on this. Looks like a Power Glide. These came with a manual Power Glider 3-speed. We got the best of them, in my opinion. Manual would be cool, but maybe not, because I'm lazy. All right, let's get under the hood. Okay, well, this is not a 283, and it's definitely not a 348. Those were the two V8 options. And it's not a straight 6. This has been swapped at some point. It's got corporate blue paint on the head and the block down here, so that tells me right away that it's a 77 to 82 Chevrolet small block. It's got the modern clutch fan on it. It's got a 2-barrel to a 4-barrel intake adapter. That's different. Normally you want all the barrels. Still on points. Lightning hoses. It's got brake booster with just the single pot of death over here. May have to address that. Those can get a little sketchy, but it's all here. Let's see what it's got for oil. Conventional 1030. No gas, no antifreeze. That's good. But we got all the fixings here to hopefully make this thing run. Where I'm going to start is throw a wrench on the crankshaft, make sure this thing rolls over. Oh, she's turning. Then we'll throw a lightning cube in it. Get out of here. Install. Test the ignition. My voltage meter says that's good. We got gen and oil light. Let's see if it cranks. No. Let's see if it cranks. No. Now we know why it was parked. Probably needs a starter. Holy cobwebs. We need a spiderologist on the show so they can tell us what we're, ruining our lives on. So I was just laying under here eating spider webs and just noticed this is not a Power Glide. The column indicates it was originally, but when they swapped in this engine, along came with it a TH350. So now we have 3 gears instead of 2. So that's pretty cool. We got glass packs. Then we'll be full of stuff. So first step, take a look at the starter. I got my Lone Wolf 6000 trigger. Rebuilding starter. I think we do in fact have a bad starter. Okay, well, let's put a starter in. So this is our bad starter here. It's not starting anymore. And I just wanted to show you quick, there are some different bolt patterns. See, this one is directly across. That would be for like typically an older block style. This one is diagonal, not directly across. Thankfully, Chevrolet is really, really good about parts interchangeability. And in some cases, these blocks are actually drilled for both provisions, which this one is. So all we had to do was pick up another long bolt. We should be able to mount this in. Has the same tooth count and everything like that. And a guy went on ahead and put new battery cables on as well. Those ones were from the Nixon administration. All goes well, should be able to climb in and twist the screwdriver, and this thing should rotate on its own. Starter's working, needs shimmed. It needs shimmed. That's fine. I don't mind taking it off again. Bring me high love. Synthesize. Well, the good thing is it's getting colder, and it's actually snowing in Texas currently. Well, we're dealing with the starter here, and I have to eat crow. I said that these starters will just bolt right in and everything will work. I failed to mention that there are flex plate differences. Most commonly, you have a 168 tooth. We have a 153, which is smaller and requires a different starter. But see how this bolt is offset farther from the center than this one? So we're going to have to get the correct one so it'll work with our flex plate. We're going to give her a go. This should hopefully spin her over. No. Oh, you can't make this up. Starter solenoid is bad or something. How? Why? Why? Starter coming out for the 19th time. I think our new starter's bad. That's what's supposed to happen. Not shorts and sparks. So, new starter, wrong style, great. New starter, right style, bad. Can I take new starter solenoid onto that one? Well, I don't know. We could ruin both of them. If this works, I get a margarita mixer on set. That's all I'm saying. Ice machine, blender, 5 to 6 flavors, crushed or cubed ice, bendy straws, and we could just use Dixie cups because, you know, budget. Charge! Ha-ha! Got it. So this guy shorted out junk. Now I get to put it in for, what are we on, 17 installs? Can't buy new parts anymore. You can't trust them. Can't trust them at all. I have never fought a starter like this in my life, I don't think. Here. The battery's still hooked up there. It smells like burning eyebrows down here. Oh, wait, it is. I'm gonna throw something down here. It's either gonna fire off or it's not. And if it doesn't, then we don't have spark. All right. Bring the thunder. Yes. Boom. Let's go. No, I'm kidding. We got a lot of work to do. This sounds great. It's not knocking. It's not smoking. Yes. You know, other than the 17-day starter battle, it's pretty easy, actually. Wait. Maybe I should test the transmission first. Oh. There we go. Yeah. Nice soggy reverse with a little bit of drive. Man, we're golden. Smells like someone spilled ATF. Well, the El Camino down here in snowy Texas runs. So that means let's make it run even more gooder. We're going to clean this thing up, tear off this 2-barrel intake and the point system, put a 4-barrel back on it, bigger carburetor, ATI conversion, Craigslist rebuild, the whole 9 yards, and bomb this thing around Texas and find that big 72-ounce steak. Let's dig in. clean separation. Okay, it's pretty clean. We're getting ready to put the new intake on. Just a little tech tip, because tricks are for kids. These little rubber thingies, do not use them. They have little provisions to snap into the block, all cute like, but 99.643% of the time, these squish out after some time and create massive oil leaks on the front or rear of your engine. So throw these away, and then we're just going to use some room temperature vulcanization cream and just kind of weld in our own bead, front and rear about 1/4 inch, and then we'll plop on our new intake. It goes a little something like this. This is an HEI distributor, so we can just apply 12 volts to this. It's got an internal coil, everything's contained right here. We can just slide this in, and then we can get rid of that external coil and the points and all that stuff, which obviously worked, and they worked pretty decent, but these just have good reliability and longevity. Pulling all the sparkulators, massive oil, carbon, soot. So we're going to pretend we didn't see that and just jam a new one in there. Well, we snazzed up our engine a little bit here. Now, obviously, we didn't have to do this, but you know, we wanted to add a little bit of torque, a little bit of power, and ultimately we want to cruise around Texas, so we want to have that. We did that with an air gap dual plane intake here, and then we put the 600 Holley 4-barrel on here with electric choke. We got the HEI in here, and of course, you had to go with the chrome kit. Might get us home, probably not. I got a little bit more to finish up, some wiring, some vacuum lines, but we're running out of daylight, and the real feel is now 8 degrees, starting to get a little chilly. So I think we're going to call it for tonight. See you in the morning. Well, I did make it back to Amarillo by morning. In here in the garage with the 60 El Camino in snowy Texas. We had a snowstorm yesterday. That was kind of bizarre. We're going to try to get this thing running and idling today, but I've got a lot of work to do, and I think I'm going to start with the fuel system, actually. So there's a hard line running from the tank up to the cross member here, then it goes into a rubber line to the actual fuel pump. I'm going to rip that rubber line off, and I'm going to put a new line in with the filter in place, so if we do start pulling rust and Legos and chicken legs, it'll get stuck in the filter and not the pump. And then I'm going to run a new soft line here with another filter before it gets to our new fancy fuel make it happener. Don't want to fill that full of gunk. So it's a race to see which breaks first. My hands from cold or these old rotten lines, basically. Here we go. Oh, what a cream puff. Not pumping yet. Still not pumping. Uh-oh. Not looking good. Confirmed it's plugged. Look, truck, not car. Also, I was just laughing at myself yesterday. 1994 is 30 years, not 20. Right where I want to go. In Amarillo, I see. There's 2 fuel tanks. What am I looking at? This could be our issue here. And then we got some copper line. Well, there might be a switch up here. Found it. There's a ball valve that switches tanks. So now this got really complex because that runs to here and then to both tanks. I put fuel in the stock tank, but
Which one is that? I don't know. Now I gotta dig through all of this, try to figure out what's going on. It's like Thompson water seal. Here's the deal. The actual fuel tank, the real one, is plugged. So then I hook my line to the second tank and watch. I could blow straight through. So now we're going to try to figure out how to put fuel in that second tank that's in there, saving us 58,912 hours labor, and most importantly, cost on parts. I don't understand. How do you fill it? Found it. Truck bed. It means this tank hasn't been used in a very, very long time because it's covered in wood. There's got to be a better way. What, you've never shoveled your truck bed before? Aha! Gas cap. Everything's fine. I've just been thinking about this. Theorizing. This thing has a hidden auxiliary fuel tank and a small block. That gets 15 miles to the gallon on the highway. Why would you need so much fuel unless you didn't want to stop for fuel? And this thing was clearly shot at from behind. Maybe this was transporting some sort of items. You know what I mean? I don't know, just saying. We are down by the border. So now I'm going to go underneath, drain what's in there. It looks like beef broth. Put some fresh fuel in, see if I can pull that to the front, and boom, we got a fuel system. Watch out, Joe. Now I'm moving on to the cooling system quick. Gonna get out this old Harrison rat. All the fins are bent over and folded. It's crusty and cruddy. We'll jam in an aluminium one, and that'll also help keep this performance engine nice and cool. Well, ain't that snazzy? That's slicker than pig poop on a pump handle, and I ain't kidding you. Went right in. So here's where we're at here on this El Camino. We've got the oil change now. We've got a air gap intake, 4-barrel carburetor, HEI distributor, a little bit of chrome, new aluminium rad, spliced into transcooler lines. We've got new fuel lines. We've got it hooked to a mysterious fuel tank in the back that takes a shovel to access. And I think we're ready to go ahead and try to fire this up again, see if the head gaskets work, all of that stuff. Bring the thunders. Oh yeah, new starter too. How did I forget that? It seems to be pulling fuel. So all the old oil and grease and 58 gallons of ATF that I spilled, it's cooking off of the manifold. It's how you can tell it's warming up. It's an indicator. It's real nice. You should try it. See if the timing's close. Oh. Telling you, a guy's ear meter is dialed. It's barely even smoky in here. So here's the deal on the brakes. There are none. Weird, right? So we've got the single pot of death over here. It is a boosted unit, which is pretty cool, but I'm gonna try to upgrade the brakes to at least disc front. So we'll have disc front brakes, drum rear brakes. It'll make it quite a bit more safe and more fun to drive. But that's going to be quite a bit of work. We're going to have to try to convert all of this to a modern master cylinder like this one. This one's a 4-port master cylinder, which requires quite a bit of bleeding in 2 separate functions, and we'll cross that bridge when the river gets here or whatever. But first, we're going to try and put this in. Here we go. Joe, where's the 5/8? Ah! The instructions are a little bit vague when it comes to the rod and pedal assembly. The kit says, just take the rod out and put it in your new master cylinder and you have brakes. It's easy. Well, this is our rod, and clearly it's significantly too short to reach the pedal arm and actually plunge the master cylinder. So before I cut up the other rod we have, we're going to try to bolt this onto this, which looks not even remotely right. But I've discovered through methods of using my finger as a tape measure that the rod protrudes roughly the same distance as needed with the old one. What makes it more difficult is this piston is stuck down. So long story short, there's absolutely no precision. I'm just hacking miscellaneous parts together to try to make juice come out of this so the tires stop turning. If this doesn't work, then I'm going to cut everything into pieces and make my own brakes. Somehow, some way, I think this bled. So we're going to keep rolling with it. What I'm going to do, instead of replumbing the entire truck, because we're moving the discs up front, leaving the drums in the back. Right now there's just T-blocks in here, and I'm going to jump these. So right now I've only got this one line, and then I'm going to run this down. It already tees and goes to the left front wheel and the right front wheel, but over there it also tees and goes to the back. I'm going to plug that, run one line in the rear to a proportioning valve, and that allows us to increase or decrease the brake action in the rear, which is awesome because we can turn them off if we want to accidentally hold the brake and gas pedal at the same time. And then basically all I got to do is just run that one line over to where that T was. Boom, we're done. And then I can actually start on putting in the calipers and rotors and all of that stuff. All that work to just put this on the front. Okay, me and Joseph are gonna go have a drink. Come on, Joe. Well, the guy stayed last night until I lost light, but I was able to get all of the brake line hard lines plumbed. We have all of the brakes, except they don't currently work. Today now I've got to jack this up, get the front tires and wheels off, blow apart the drums, basically strip this thing all the way down to the spindle, and then rebuild it with the dinner plate brakes and the caliper and rubber soft lines and all of that stuff. It's going to be a long day of keeping my hands warm, keeping them busy, and hopefully here we're going to get some disc brakes in the front. I heard a rumor there's a 72-ounce stake somewhere around these parts. We're going to drive this thing there. I am bound and determined. Let's dig in. Rebuilding. Wow, this one's got some spray on it. Trying to get the bracket try figured out. This is going to hold the caliper. We'll be sliding the disc on. I don't know, I'm not used to these fancy brakes. The dinner plate. Captain's log. Garage in Texas. I love brakes. Biggest lie told this year so far. BAM! One disc brake complete. Needs to get worn in a little bit. Still need to bleed it, but now I'm going to move to the other side, rinse and repeat. Time to put some good rubber on this car because we got to let it down and roll it forward so I can get to the back. So we might as well show you the tires and wheels we're going to be going with. And there's a particular style I'm going for, which is 70s on this rig. We got this wheel and tire combo here. These are I believe they're a 235/60. We're going to get rid of these and go with the classic Krager. But with the kicker, look at the red stripe tires. These are a 225/70/15. Slightly taller, but that's because we're going to go with a 255 in the back. I think these are going to look awesome. Let me throw these on quick. There we go. They seem to fit. Boom! Okay, good enough. Let's go. This glass is terrible. Every time I wipe this, there's another crack. We're going to go for a test ride in the Texas El Camino here. Engine's stalled up, running pretty good. Well, it's rolling. First time on the road in 30 years. That's something, actually. Front tire's rubbing. Okay, we'll ignore that for now. Wish the front windshield was as clear as the back one. Motor seems to run pretty good, though. Second gear. Second gear. There's second gear. It shifted. It's getting better. You just gotta drive these old rigs. They'll come back around on you. I don't know who this guy is, but I'm pretty sure I'm related to him based on how he's dressed. And I don't think he's leaning. You see, he's saying, my back hurts. It runs, it drives, it shifts, it steers, everything rubs, it's terrible, it's sloshy, and there's no brakes. So this drive's going really good. So the front tires were rubbing on our test drive every time I would turn them, basically. The disc brake kit moved the tires out 7/8 of an inch. I think that's what might have caused that interference. So I did an alignment and made sure that we had more room by just cutting the bottom of the fenders off. Well, Gary from Canyon Glass is here to put glass in the El Camino. We actually found some at Classic Industries, and those guys helped us out big time, hustled and got it here. Unfortunately, the forklift driver, while unloading the windshield, dropped it on the ground. It looks like the front one we have now, but we're still going to get a back glass in, so it's more-ish, kind of legal-ish for the road. Gary, you done this before, these old curb glasses?
I've done a few. I have not done an El Camino this old.
Wow.
I've done a 68 and a 70
Okay.
for a buddy.
Well, I admire you, because I look at it and go, nope.
Yeah.
So good luck.
Yep. All right, we're just kind of wanting to take the chrome off here and kind of inspect the pinch weld here. There is some rust, but I don't think it's going to hinder us because this is a rubber set method. It's got the rubber gasket on it. So once we get it cleaned up, get this all off, we'll apply the gasket to the windshield, and we do what we call a rope in. The rope pulls the lip of the gasket over the edge of the pinch weld, which was really common on the older cars and stuff.
Well, the fellers at Canyon Glass made easy work of this back glass in the truck. I probably wouldn't have attempted that myself, but they got it right in. Looks great. Thanks a lot for getting it in.
You bet.
All right, take care. Appreciate you.
Thanks.
All right. Since it'll stop and it'll go, let's get the hood back on this, run it down to a car wash 30 years of filth off of this thing so we can start working on the exterior looks. There we go. Brake check. Follow. Oh, yeah, we skid. Oh, look at all the dirt flying out of the back. We really loosened her up. All right, what do we got? Lava. That doesn't sound good. Bug prep, we need that. Blasters, yes. Triple wheel scrubber. Okay, we're going with the big dog. Here we go. Such a bad idea all of a sudden. Okay. Yep. There we go. Now we're scrubbing. Hopefully the windshield doesn't cave in. Okay. So far, so good. Now get that tailgate good. Oh no, here comes the high pressure. Oh, it's off. Never mind. This is a very confused car wash machine. What is happening? Excuse me. What are you doing? Oh, it's a wheel scrubber. Never been in something like this in my life. Watch the paint up here. Why is it so close? This one's just flapping around. This one's gouging the fender in. That one's doing nothing. You're fired. Oh. Okay, we got some colored stuff. That's not much foam for 15 bucks. Look at the side windows. That's not much foam for 15 bucks. I don't think that's gonna clean it. It's just a really lazy mow. Wow, this is like a different color foam of some kind. Oh, okay. No. Spot-free rinse. Well, I'm seeing spots everywhere. Rip off. That'll dry the tires off. We just got kicked out of that car wash. That's all right. I was going to ask for a refund anyway. Junk. Well, car wash, not successful. Testing our first burnout. Not terribly bad. Not terribly bad. Too nice of tires to be doing burnouts though. So we got the Vice Grip Garage gloss wipe on clear coat here, and then we'll throw in our clear coat catalyst, mix it up. And then all we have to do is just take this applicator pad and just wipe this on. Nice even strokes. A little goes a long way with this. You don't have to mix a whole can. And this thing is going to be shining in no time. Oh, wow. Clear coat everything. Well, there you go. That easy. We've got clear coat on the El Camino. Talk about a transformation. It looks awesome. Gonna go ahead and drive it back into the garage and let it dry for the night. See you tomorrow. Well, good morning. Back on the El Camino. It's time to lower this thing improperly goodliest. The wrong way. We're going to do our best to do it the wrong way. Using the torch. We're going to heat the coil springs up, apply some pressure, bounce it. Let me know when something's on fire. Should be able to drop this thing 2-3 inches easily. Because right now it's all kind of tooted up. We don't want that. You got to seat it. Bop, 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 bop. Another successful lowering job. Now it's got a little bit of a rake. We can show off those beautiful Kragers. It's looking good. But I got pieces of rat bones and bags blowing around in the cab. Power bait. Power nuggets. The only thing they baited was more rats. Let's take this old yucky carpet out, try to put some new carpet in, clean up the interior. Man, it stinks in here. It's terrible. Oh, wow. Look at all the rust. The cab is completely separated. You can see outside. It's not even hooked to the floor. There's about a 1 inch to 3 1/4 inch gap along the whole back of the cab here. And being this is a unibody, it's going to take some work, to patch this up. It needs a floor pan. Have to fabricate some stuff in here. So we're going to go ahead and fix this. Otherwise, water's going to keep coming in. It's going to ruin the carpet. So we're going to do a little fabrication here. All right. Oh, a little high on the heat over here. Gotta get a nice bead. That is some pretty solid metalwork. Fixed. I'm gonna go ahead and fix this up too. Nice. Well, the guys fought through brake issues, mismatched parts, bad parts right out of the box, but the fun time is finally here. Jump in this El Camino. Go cruise around Texas, see what we can find. There's a lot to see. We're not going to see it all, obviously, but I've got a few spots in mind. So when a guy found this El Camino in Texas here, it had been off the road for 3 decades, 30 years. And it didn't need a ton of work, but we got her fired up. And it's not perfect. And yeah, I cut corners, and there's things we could have done better, but we did it on a budget. We did it in a few days. And that's the point, getting these old cars back on the road where they belong instead of just rotting away. So now we get to enjoy this old rig, go cruise around. We got some scenery coming up here. I think we might even try to find the Cadillac Ranch. The fucking cars in the old bean patch. There's a fire in the barn and the place stays packed. Now they call it the Cadillac Ranch. I'm actually really surprised at how straight this thing drives and how well it actually, like, well, first of all, it's a 1960. Math, that's a lot of numbers, old, right? And then we torched the springs, and I'm telling you, it ain't that bad. I gotta be honest. Just like a whippersnapper right off the showroom floor. How fast are we going? 60. Oh man, paint's gonna peel off. This poor thing, after sitting all these years, threw it right on the highway, clipping 60, no issues. It's just incredible. It's only going to start running better as we go, too. You got to get these things out and blow the webs out of them. Ooh! We're going to swing into the baby Grand Canyon. That looks awesome. Oh, this is cool. So I'm at a scenic outlook here. It's absolutely breathtaking. There's several more miles of road that go through here, but if you look over yonder, it's like a 10% grade with like hairpin turns back and forth. I think I'm good right here. You know, because no seatbelts or the seat's also not bolted in and stuff like that. No big deal. This is good enough. Next stop, Cadillac Ranch. So this is really, really cool. A guy actually got permission to drive the El Camino into the field right up next to the Cadillacs. It's just all fins. This is going to be really cool. Check this out. We made it to Cadillac Ranch. We were actually able to pull right up to them. Look at all the beautiful fins back here. Love these things. We found this 60 El Camino tucked away in a garage. Been off the road for 30 years. And after a fight with the starter of 3, she fired right up. We had to use a shovel to find our mystery fuel tank back here. Then we were able to start throwing upgrades at this thing. New 4-barrel intake, carburetor, HEI upgrade, cooling system upgrade with an aluminum rad up there. Of course, we had to throw some chrome on this thing to help us get here. Added a few horsepower as well. We got a front disc brake conversion on this thing. Beautiful Krager wheels, red line tires, and then we topped it off with that Vice Grip Garage gloss clear coat. This thing looks amazing. It drives amazing. We bombed it down the interstate allegedly faster than the posted speed limit. It's an awesome, awesome rig. I'm going to hang out here for a few minutes with Cadillac. Of course, I'm going to tag it up with some Roadworthy Rescues. And I'm going to find me a 72-ounce steak right down the road here. I don't know how to spell and paint. I could not be a graffiti artist, I'm telling you that. What is that? That's going to do it for this episode of Roadworthy Rescues, but stay tuned, there's plenty more to save.
On Roadworthy Rescues, we exhume a Studebaker that's been off the road for 39 years. The search for forgotten classic cars has brought a guy to north central Oklahoma. You might assume it's these beautiful square bodies back here, but it's not. It's actually what's stored in the shipping container back here. It's a pretty eclectic, rare, and unique car. Let's check it out. It's probably worth noting this car was bought sight unseen. That's just the way it goes. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got in here. Let's see what's in here. Haha, yes, a 1947 Studebaker Champion, but it's even the Starlight Coupe, which makes this girl actually very rare and sought after. That's the rear of the car. Can't quite see it. These were made from 39 to 58. This is a third generation, which was 47 to 52. I actually have a couple of these old gals, and they're really neat cars. This one's been sitting in here for a handful of years. It's supposed to maybe sort of run, but we're told that it just doesn't have brakes. That's weird. It's going to be a lot of fun. So let's check this thing out as much as we can. It's pretty tight in here, but that's just the way she goes. So from 1947 to 1955 on the Champion and Commander models, Studebaker offered this really cool spaceship-looking glass, and this was the Starlight Coupe. They're actually very hard to find, and they're even harder to find with this glass intact. They usually get robbed, stolen, borrowed forever, or unfortunately broken out. This one appears to be complete, which already means this purchase is awesome. You can see this kind of weird boat shape. This is a very World War II-esque kind of shape that cars went through. And Studebaker was at the front of just really weird designs, like how you open the trunk back here by pulling that lever. And then it kind of hides away. I'm surprised that opened, actually. We can't really walk around this thing too much, but I can tell you from this side anyway, it looks rust-free. And we're going to pretend we looked at the other side and it's also rust-free. Yes. Also, there are some incredible Ellis Charmels lawnmowers in here, including a 920 diesel and a couple B12s. That's really sweet. I guess let's look inside. Oh, that's typical. Don't worry. worry about that. All right. Wow, we got some saggage, some seat coverage, some cuppage. Ooh, smells like a litter box full of wet socks. It's enticing. But look how beautiful this interior is. You got just all these beautiful ornate knobs and the gold and the way the gauges are set up and everything in here. These are just really cool cars. The levers on the car, the outside, inside, the trunk, all were really, really neat. But the hood, not so much. It's actually this guy right here. And they most commonly don't work. The optimistic plan is to get this running, make it, a little bit roadworthy, and drive it, I don't even know how many hundreds of miles back to Tennessee. Triage. By the way, I should mention, I'm not a Studebaker expert. Anyway, let's open the hood. Should have a cute little flathead in here. Oh, there she goes. Oh, yeah. We got completage. Minus the battery, of course. Never got a battery. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're all still there. All be dipped. Got a newish-ish looking fuel pump. We got the fuel happener still on there. That's good. Of course, it's a point system. Starter's still in it. It's got all the right hoses and whatnot. The dual horns. Wow. Original rad. Hello? That's empty. We're off to a good start here. It's got some juice in it. It's 4-chord slow. It's fine. We should probably make sure this thing turns over and even runs. And then we got to figure out if we're actually going to put a master cylinder in this or if we're going to trade it for that 55 Ford sitting over there. So I think the first thing a guy's going to do is just make sure the engine spins over freely by hand. It's been sitting a long time. I actually just noticed walking around again, the plate says 85, which is carry the 4 divided by 6, 39 years. It's a long time. And then we'll figure out if the starter switch works and the relay and the actual starter and all that stuff. Okay? Okay, plan. So I'm just going to grab the fan blades here. Oh yeah, she's rotating. Oh, I hear compression too. I'll be dipped. Look at that. Yeah, so we're safe to go ahead and install a battery. And this is a positive ground unit unless it's been messed with. And we're going to find that out very quickly by doing this. I think we're good. We're trying to see if we have a key. We don't. That's really weird. So there are no ignition sticks. It's dangling out of the dash. I'm going to assume someone's been doing what I was doing beforehand. And I can't get the door all the way open and I can't waller in there. Sasquatch. So I'm going to try to put some wind in the wheels. Got some ramps here off a trailer. Try to push this thing outside where we could see what in the devil is going on with this thing. Here we go. Okay. Okay, here we go now. Guess what? The wheels are locked up. So maybe we hook a chain and we'll just drag it out of here. Yeah, that's a good idea. Here's that plate, 85. This was parked pretty much when I was born. Think about it. I'm going to jump in the trunk, see if the keys are back here. Or what else we have. Wow, the breather is in here for the engine. Check this out. No way. Old school inflator. You don't need them battery ones. You just use this guy. It's pretty cool. We've got ice cube juice. Spot remover. That's a cool can. I'm going to keep that. We got a mouse house. Another brick. We got a ridge wheel. Some more mouse houses. Hello. Time to go. Eminent domain. That's it. No keys. Unfortunately. I guess we're going to have to wire in a lawnmower key or something to this thing, but let's continue to try to jump it with miscellaneous wires, pliers, vice grips, pieces of wood. I think the starter relay is not starter relaying. Got no brakes, got no running engine, got no key, got no starter. What are the chances we bought one? That. So now I'm going to spend 74,000 hours getting the throttle linkage, part of the distributor, the whole distributor, and other things out, just so I can pull the two bolts out to get this off. Zebra. Yes! Let's drive. But anyway, good news. We found a starter motor right here that works. I bench tested it on the tailgate over there. Put this back in, then we will resume trying to see if we can get this to start. Oh, don't forget about the lawnmower key. At least they make them late. You can just drive it right out of the container, Derek. And then all you gotta do is put wheels on it. Oh, sweet. Hey, the starter's in. I think I got it hooked back up. I got my lone wolf hooked up. It should make starter noises and turn the engine over. Yes! Barely. Wow, motor is tight. I should just... Whoever called it a funny bone needs to be audited. Okay, this is really just getting on my nerves, and I know it's factory. People are gonna cringe right now. But I ain't got the time. I'm not gonna risk taking the head bolt off. It's the last thing we're gonna do. Yep. Yes. Okay. Yep. All right. Oh. Yep. Oh, it's easy. Blowing all of the mouse droppings and welcome notes out of the way. We're going to juice this thing up like Arnold Schwarzenegger with a little bit of whatever this mystery oil is. That cylinder must be up because it's not taking nothing. And then we'll let this sit. It's going to lubricate the rings, the cylinder walls, all of that stuff. And then we'll spin it over and shoot all of it back out. But we're going to let it sit while I'm working on spark and fuel. So these are points or contacts, depends on who you ask and what time of day it is. And their job is simple. They're opening and closing the connection or circuit for the ignition here. When they sit over time, they build up a film or sulfur or some sort of stuff. Bimetallic corrosion, essentially. Okay? And then they don't contact correctly. So I'm just in here with my Leatherman filing away. See? And then we can apply electricity back to the ignition coil, test them, and we should see or hear spark. If you roll it by hand, you can hear it. You hear that clicking? We got spark, that means! Boy, it's 2 cylinders are trying to fire. That's better than 6. Come on, bring the thunder. Keep bringing it. Oh yeah, it's barely even smoking. Keep in mind, most of that's Marvel Mystery Oil. I don't know what's in it. It's a mystery, but it does smoke. Boy, this sounds terrible, doesn't it? £60 of oil pressure, and it's charging. I am going to shut it off, though. It has no water in it. Wow. Well, there you go. The old Studebaker is baking. Probably overbaked. It's smoking a lot. Okay, it sounds horrible. It's pretty good. But we've only got, how many? 700 miles? It seems fine. So let's go ahead and change the oil. Maybe that'll put new bearings in it. And we should consider maybe putting some fresh fuel in it. That might be part of the reason it's running on 1.5 cylinders. Then we'll put some coolant in it. See how bad the head gasket leaks. And then we can test the clutch. And then confirm for the 40th time we don't have brakes. Only place this thing's driving is the junkyard. We got bad valve drain issues. Very bad. It's shooting fuel out the carb, so the valves aren't closing and opening as they should. Everything's fine. Okay, it's running on 3. Let's see if it moves. Clutch test. First gear. Yep, it might maybe pull itself. Reverse. Oh yeah. First. Yep. Reverse. First. You see where I'm going here? We got a clutch. So here's what a guy's gonna do. I'm gonna jump in this thing, tootle it around the yard here for a second to this machine shed or shop down here. I don't know what it is. And we could continue to work on it there, but this is the first time this car's moved under its own power in, long time. This should be pretty fun, actually. We're going. Oh, wow, the torque. About lost my hat. These were a really nice, elegant, middle luxury car back then. If you sold Maytag dryers or owned a gas station, you probably had one of these back in the day, you know. Oh, left front's a little flat. I think we're on the rim. It's all right. Oh, yep, ignore that. I got no brakes. I also can't turn the ignition off. I didn't think about this very good. One of the main reasons these cars are parked, remember the bandit brake situation there? Yeah, they're, master cylinders in the floor, and they're not the easiest to replace. Some would say you have to cut the entire floor out and then pry and then hit it with hammers, and let's just say I might have been there many times. So you have beautiful cars like this that the brakes fail, the master cylinder in particular, they just get parked because they're such a difficult job. We thought we might have a lift, but it's broke. What? See, this is the problem, how do you work on it? There's no room to do anything. Good news, this is a brake master cylinder. Why don't we go up top, through the duct tape floor, fill this with juice, and just see, maybe, somehow, some way, this just starts working again. Very unlikely, but let's try it. We could put some juice in it, and maybe the seals would just rejuvenate. Yeah, it just coughed. It's full of rust. Well, the pedal's coming back up. You can't make this stuff up. We might only be running 4 brake lines instead of 12. What I need to do is acquire a bench vise, because I got to take off the Snootson rod over to the axle diagrameter that runs into the piston limiter up to this rod, which is a neutrometer to the clutch pedal. That also has split barrels for the line chutes. But I don't think I can do it just trying to manually twist it, so we got to figure that out. So I got one SAE croissant wrench on here. Then I'm going to take another one and just work them against each other here. And see if I can get this to free up. Oh, I got it. I must have had some leverage on it for some reason. Put this here. What do you think? Wow. If that ain't the cutest thing I ever seen. Worked. Now everything has to go back in. Well, the guys hit a roadblock for today. We did get the Champion running. It was a lot of fun pulling it out of the container, drove it around the yard a little bit, got it into the shop here, got the master cylinder in, but I don't have all the fittings I need to finish up the brake system, so I'm actually going to call it for tonight, throw some groceries down the app in the morning, start collecting fittings and some line, and we're going to come back and get these brakes finished up because we've got a long road trip. It runs. We got to get the thing going down the road, though. See you in the morning. Said fitting hunt led me to these. This is all we have in this entire county, so that seems fine. I'm short a lot.
So here's what's going to have to happen. I don't have a bench vise in here, so I couldn't bench bleed the master cylinder last night. So I'm going to use wherever I put the 316 line at and swing it under the door jamb back into the pot and try to bleed that and then hook up the lines. And then I'm going to do wheel cylinders and then snap off the lines to the wheel cylinders, replace the rubber lines. It's brake. I'm doing brakes. I have done drum brakes on every inch of this earth, on every type of vehicle, except the 47 Studebaker. Turns out they are highly confusing and weird. I read a manual, it confused me. I read it more, it confused me more. So now I'm just debating whether or not to take this off, because it's like a jack-in-the-box. Once it's out, good luck putting it back. Special tool in my behind. It's called a vice grip. Complete. So here's the rear shoe up this side here, and you can see how thick the pad is down here, and it's gone just shredded on the top, and that's from the e-brake being actuated. It pulls on this, which would rock the top part of the shoe back like that. So this tells me not only does the Stude not have brakes, it hasn't had brakes for 23 years minimum. Good news, bad news. The good news is we still don't have brakes. The bad news is I got to work on brakes. But look, I have some pedal, which means that the master cylinder surgery we did is working. The fronts work excellent. I failed to replace the rubber line in the back that goes from the frame to the axle because, let's face it, I'm lazy. But here's the thing. It's so constricted, I'm not getting any fluid to all the new drums and hardware and everything in the rear. So unfortunately, I got to crawl back under the car and try to get that rubber line replaced without snapping 3 hard lines. Now I'm going to break all of them. Okay. There was some old brake fluid on one of the lines. Now the ham gravy coming out is what we want to see, not the beef gravy. Found the key. All this actually does is just turn on accessories and everything like that. The starter switch is actually on the floor. This is a 3-pole ignition switch, and we have a 5-pole lawnmower one. This one, the start, is actually cranking here, but the start switch for the Stude is actually on the floor. Now I could technically use this and just turn it on, and then use the foot switch. But first, because I'm lazy, I'm just gonna try to use my drill bit key and see if I can just turn this with a plier or a screwdriver and avoid having to do any of that stuff, because I just really want to drive it right now. There we go. So now you can see the end of the tumbler is this little flat edge, and it happens to match
So now I can just go boop, 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 just like that. See if the switch works. Okay, ignition coming hot. Now. And contact. Nothing. So unfortunately, the starter switch is bad. Starter's hanging up.
Like a Swiss watch.
Two cylinders are missing. You can hear it. We're still going to try to drive it. Maybe it'll come back around, you know? Could be one of the world's first 4-cylinder Studebakers. If you're handed a lemon, trade it for whiskey, is what I always say. All right, let me show you the tires. They're really awesome. Nope. Hey, check out these hot rods. Travel Star. Sure. Whatever. They're gonna work. Of course, you have to put the white wall out. I'm not a huge fan of white walls, I gotta be honest, but they do fit some vehicles. And this one, I think it's fitting. Probably should be a little wider, but that's okay. So a guy found a self-serve car wash a couple miles down the road. So we're gonna fire this thing up, slam the hood, jump in, drive it downtown, wash this thing up for the first time in I don't know how long. And then we'll better see what we're working with and we'll get some miles on this thing. Right. Ha! Like a dream. We are the champions. My friend. I'm gonna leave that. Don't worry about that. All right. Brake check. Oh, wow. I think that's probably the best brakes we've ever had on the show. If I'm being honest, I can't see them. Okay. Struggling to get out of first gear. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be going down the highway with the girl. This is about top speed. What did I hit, 20? It wants to run, but I'm concerned that we've got a couple bent push rods or something going on. And unfortunately, the inspection cover for the valve train is right underneath the intake and the exhaust, so it's not a quick little look like a Ford 300, for example, or a Chevrolet. You can just pop the cover out the other side. This has got some work to even take a look. Woo! New record, 28! Man, it's too bad. Car handles terribly, so that's good. But it's fun to drive. It looks neat. Headlightage coming in. Boom! Look at that. We do have headlights. And the brake lights are stuck on, so technically we have tail and brake lights. That's going to do it for tonight. I'm just going to keep working on the car here, try to get some of this stuff off, clean it up, take it right back to the shed. We've got some more work to do on this thing for sure. See you in the morning.
Studebaker Commander Starlight. Check out this glass. It was tucked away in a container here in Oklahoma. Hadn't run in many years. The plate said 1985. After a complete brake job, going through the ignition system, a couple other things, it's officially roadworthy. We drove it last night. We went to the car wash and, well, the paint looks terrible. Now, originally, I had hoped we could road trip this thing all the way back to Vice Grip Garage in Tennessee, but I don't think this little flathead has it in it. However, it doesn't mean we can't cruise it around locally. So here's the plan. We're going to put some slick on this thing. Do something with the paint here and do something with the wheels. Clean it up a little bit more. Address a few small items on the car. We're going to hit the back roads. Try to find some cool plastics, some other stuff to look at. We're still going to have a lot of fun. First, let's see if we can bring this paint back around. When this car was first in the container and I glassed at it, I thought maybe it was original paint, but now that it's out, you can clearly see someone just painted the entire car, glass, rubber, trim, and it's a really weird, chalky, old single stage, basically. It's like clay. I'm going to use some cutting compound, try to get through the oxidation. If we can get some luster out of it without a ton of work, we'll keep going. I did bring some shine around. It's looking pretty good, actually. I am unfortunately out of pads, though. I bought the store completely out. And of course, there's a bunch of old paint just clogging these things up. So I'm going to roll this outside, take a look at it in the daylight. Then I got a few more things to touch up looks-wise. I think we're ready to go cruise again. So I think I'm finished with the paint here. It's good enough to be a go-in-the-town rig. So now I'm going to move on to the tires and wheels. Now normally, a guy throws a package at these cars, spruces them up. Wheels and tires can make or break a project in the looks department. But in this particular case, I don't want to take away from any of this really cool, iconic styling. So I'm just going to throw the original hubcaps back on. But I am going to paint them up a little bit and get that red center back in them, clean them, and that should complete our look. Hey, check this out. They're dry, sharp. Just a little bit of Windex and paint. These look just fine. We got mismatching though. We're gonna put these two that kind of match on this side and the other two that don't match these on the other side. All right, there we go. Sure. Something like that. Yep. Well, a guy did catch wind that right down the road here, I don't know, 10, 15 miles, there's a feller that's got a bunch of old wreckers and cars and trucks and even old buildings that he's restoring. So we're going to jump in the Stude, go for a cruise, see if we can find this place, check out some old stuff. It really is a shame it doesn't run just a little more Gurderist. It would be a lot of fun to road trip this thing. But it's going good. We still got a lot of oil pressure. It's charging. It's running about 190 now. It did get a little hot there. But now we got some wind coming through the teeth. It's doing a lot better. Well, we made it to Jerry's Wrecker Service, and there is a lot of eye candy. It's hard to take it in. There's trucks and wreckers and fuel trucks, and I see a 50 fastback Chevy and a school bus and a diner, and there's a lot. So let's start climbing around this place. Jerry himself is here. Let's dig in. Golly! Look at this Chevrolet. Okay, so I was expecting some old cars, but I did not know they've got a bunch of beautifully restored vehicles. Check this out. Look at this cab over. A 1947 auto transport trailer hooked to it. That would haul 4 classic cars back in the day from Detroit to wherever. Could you imagine muscling that thing around, no AC, out in the middle of absolutely nowhere? Hey, Jerry.
Hey.
How's it going?
All right. How about you?
Good. Thanks for having us out here. This is incredible.
Thank you. Thank you.
How many vehicles do you think you have on your property here?
80 vehicles?
Yeah, trucks.
300.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
He's got me beat. Okay, so this thing really stands out for me. This is a 1946 Flexible, and I heard that you took it as a bus and converted it to an RV?
Correct.
And you actually traveled in this thing,
Correct.
I heard.
Yeah, made it in an RV inside. Pretty much like an Airstream laid out.
Well, this is very cool. So obviously you've got a wrecker service, but you're clearly into classic automobiles.
Yeah, that's my, yeah.
You love the Chevys, it looks like.
Yeah.
You've got fastbacks and coupes and business coupes and convertibles and all sorts of stuff around here. Looks like 48 to 52 is kind of your window you
exactly.
like. Yeah. Let's look at this fastback quick. These are my favorite. I love the fastbacks.
Yeah, even in the 4-door, they look good.
They do. Yeah. So how long you had this one?
Oh, I've only had that one about 5 years finished.
I see some sort of rumble seat spare tire back here. What's in that
That's
room?
a 31 Ford 500.
Okay.
Monterey.
And 58 million trophies. I'm assuming those are from car shows.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. I got to step foot in your diner a little bit ago, and I've heard of restoring cars and trucks and buses, which is a huge challenge, but actually taking a full diner and restoring it. Did that seem overwhelming? I mean, I wouldn't even know where to start.
No, actually, I enjoyed that probably more than the car. And if you get to look at that diner, it's pretty much like doing a car. It's all metal.
There's so much to look at. I'm getting giddy here. But thanks so much for the time.
Nice meeting you.
Appreciate it so much. And you got a beautiful collection. My goodness. This is just one example of the car community and how they're just always great people. We didn't know Jerry from Adam until just a few minutes ago, but they're just like-minded folks and they're good people. Plus, driving these old classic cars, there's nothing that compares to this. Yes, they're loose and kind of hard to handle and whatever else, but you can actually feel the car. You feel the road underneath of you. You actually have to drive the thing. You know, the manual on the column and four-wheel drum manual brakes and things like that. It is absolutely enjoyable. If you've never done it, give it a shot. If you have one in your backyard or shed or lean-to or garage, stop procrastinating. Get it on the road.
Rescues, we bought an awesome Thunderbird. Terrible shape, so I did the right thing and bought a Harvester Travelall to pull it home with. 800 miles. Should be fine. This is a terrible idea, actually. Texas, Fort Worth to be exact, got a line on a bunch of cars that have been sitting for decades on this property, and there's supposedly a T-Bird right in this garage to start it off, so let's open up this thing, check this car out, we can walk around, maybe check some others out as well, see if we can get one of these on the road and back to Tennessee. All right. Ice cream, lots of it. Yeah, there's supposed to be a 60s T-Bird in here, parked in the 90s. And there is, in fact, black or green. It's kind of black, colorish looking. No tag on the plate. Well, let's walk around this, see what we got. Well, looking at all the prints here, we got some positive raccoonage, and also I'd say small dog and 2 to 3 cats. They've certainly left some putina. Smells terrible already. Let's see what we got for an engine in this thing. We got 4 flats. Confirmed. Hubcaps are gone. I don't know where those went. Lots of sawdust. I think this garage is fixing to come down. Oh, why is it so moist on the hood? Yeah. There it is. Still got the stickers on the valve covers. Fully complete. Oh, the firewall is cool. It's got the original hand marker crayon thing. AC is still in it. All the belts are still on it. Missing a battery, of course. But we've got completage minus the air filtration system, but I'm not too worried about that. Let's check out the inside. See how bad that is, or if it's sat well in this garage. I think I said late 90s, but maybe we could find a sticker or something to try to validate that as well. I'm just going to open this door because it's right here. Oh, nice maroon interior. Oh, wow. Wow. There's... Oh... It smells like a bear cave full of adult diapers. It's really sour. So moist, my eyes are watering. Looks like it's in neutral, so it's probably pushed in here. That's a good sign. No. Probably didn't run. Windshield's cracked up. 8-track. I don't even know how to run any of this stuff. It looks like most of the stuff is in here, though. And all the bells. I can't breathe. That's enough. That's enough for me. Evacuate. Get out of here. So unfortunately, we've got no keyage. Ignition sticks are gone. Oh, here we go. 96. Math. Carry the 7. 28 years it's been sitting in here. So here's the deal. We're going to leave with 2 things. A title to this car and pink eye. Yeah, we made a deal on this rig, but it's not in an ideal space to work on this thing. Plus, no, it's terrible in there. So let's go walk this property. I heard there's some trucks and vans and things.
got an idea. What if we get something else running and then try to pull this home to Tennessee? It's only like 1,200 miles or something. It'll be fine. Let's go see what we can find. The Thunder Turd. Oh yeah, I see some stuff back here. Well, this thing's sweet. Little short box, big back window. Really cool, but too short of a wheelbase. Long wheelbases are ideal for towing. This thing's cool too. Not gonna work. Still love it. Ooh, we got a van. Got Vantage. Half-ton Chevrolet Vantage. Backup lights, those lights. It's got a hitch. Oh, very homemade-ish though. I'm gonna say that's probably not gonna work for us. Pretty sweet van though. Ooh, International. Over here. International Travelall. Sweet. I'm not much of an expert on the Travelall. I'm more of a scout guy. Well, they're virtually the same thing. This has the 1,000 badge, so it's got to be a 69 or 70. In 71, they changed that. So it's just a half-ton little guy. These were made from, I think, 53 to 75. And in 74, the Chevrolet Suburban came out with the 4-door and, well, better options, better pricing, more horsepower, better fuel economy. And the oil crisis hit at the same time. International said goodbye to the Travelall. They hung on to the Scout until 1980, and then that too went away. But these were kind of the first to come out with the 4-door and the large SUV kind of flavor. They're really sweet looking rigs, actually. Let's just jump right in, see if this is a candidate. Should we start in the rear, see if it's got a hitch even? Yeah, good idea. Oh, yes. We got something. Oh, it's got a big receiver hitch on it. To the frame. That's already stuck in there and frozen in. It's probably pretty good. We should probably dig through this thing and see if there's even an engine and transmission. These came with 5 different engines, a mix of AMCs and Internationals, and 5 transmissions. There's a lot going on. Let's take a look. How do we get in it? Open. Go. Start. Okay, let's try the side door. I don't know how to run that. Wow, these open way up. Oh, ceiling curtains. That's nice. 17 different fans. I'm gonna say the air conditioning doesn't work. Welding mask. Needed one of those. Oh, new in-the-box Jeff Gordon fan pack. 3 of them. I'll take no less than 100 each. I know what I got. Look, what I'm saying is I don't see engine heads or water pumps or a transmission laying back here. So far, we're off to a good start. Let's check the front seats out. Gotta be careful. Some of these Internationals had asbestos in them, you know. You want to breathe that in. Nope. 84,000 miles, it says. Stuck at 50. I like it. Another lawnmower accessory. Toro, of course. Full of mouse-eating plastic bags. Got some home decorations. Oh, wow. Ooh, bank bag. Maybe we could pay this thing off. No. Okay. The interior is perfect. I see nothing wrong here whatsoever. Let's get under the hood. Okay. Well, we got an engine in here. We got a 2-barrel Holly, which means it's not the 345 or the 392, unfortunately. That's probably going to be the little 304. So we got 78 horsepower here. That's pretty good for towing. But it'll probably could possibly work. Okay? We got all the hoses and doodads in it. We got whatnots, points. There was a bird that died in there, apparently. 58 million feathers, literally. But the hoses and cables and stuff, pretty good shape. The transmission's in there still. It's an Automagical. It's severely low on oil. It's fine. Well taken care of. Okay. So I think this is our candidate. 1970, we'll call it International Travelall. Right now, it will be a Travelall. Hear me out. Just like we did in the Chevrolet and the tractor, can we get this running and pull the Thunder Turd back to Tennessee? We'll just go to a certain rental place and say, I've got a 2024 Silverado, and I'm pulling a Kia. And they'll say, yeah, and then we'll just put it on this. See what I'm saying? So let me get a battery, some tools, accoutrement, see if we get this fired up and moving, and then we'll figure out the rest. Okay, plan. All right, battery installed. We're gonna see if this thing cranks over first and foremost. Guy can't fit his arms down in there, so we're just gonna hit her with the battery. See what happens. We gotta work on fuel. We have to work on sparkles. This has two fuel tanks. One in it's like a saddle tank in the front fender, and one that's supposed to be in the rear, which is a little pocket tank. One of them ought to work. I don't know which. We'll figure it out. Okay, train. We get it. You're driving. I didn't even look if there's a key for this. Ha-ha! It's barely turning over. Oh, there we go. Let's see if it builds any oil pressure. Ooh, that starter sounds terrible. Again. Oh, no! Okay, I'm just going to leave that be, because we're about 17 cranks away from putting a starter in this, which is not fun. But the engine rotates, kind of, so that's good news, and we now have a Super Tool 300 ignition key. All right, progress. Who would have knew that gas eats soy sauce lids? True fuel, and I just happened to figure out works perfectly in this little soy sauce container. I'm gonna fill the bowl up, crank on this thing, see if it'll fire. Make sure it's not knocking on heaven's door, and then we can continue on. Come on, bring in the thunder. No sparkles. The wire to the distributor is completely fried. Okay, I need this back. That is now our key. Perfect. Filing the points. Filing points. Doing it incorrectly. I'm not an expert, but I'm going to say it has something to do with this melted wire. So, let's go ahead and replace that. Okay, we've got spark. Perfect. All right, let's crank her again. It's running. Yes. Sounds terrible. Perfect. Antifreeze leak. Valve train is not happy, but it is very low in oil. That's probably all we want to run it before we change on the Earls. But it's running. I can't see nothing. I guess we can just trust the transmission works. This is the Lone Wolf 6000. You know, since I work alone. You can't be in the rig and running everything out here, so you got... By the way, I'm down to 12 starts left, so... Caribbean, Hawaii, Mexico. Places I should be. That's that move. Okay, here's the plan. Don't have one. Here's the next step, though. I'm going to jack this up, take this tire off, look at the fuel selector switch, which should be in the fender well, and subsequently also the digital pump that I can hear running. Figure out how to get fuel from this big tank to the fuel make it happener. And hope the tank is good. So like I thought, there's an electric fuel pump. Here's the problem. The filler neck is rotted. gonna be no way to put fuel in this. Well, if a guy could just find some hose like this down here at the Hardmore store, I could sleeve it. Is what I'm thinking. Can a guy just run hose inside of this hose into the fuel tank, leave that hose hanging out here, then all I gotta do is plug my gas can into it. I think that's what we're gonna do. I feel like I do hear some going in. It's fine. Nobody smoke! So I'm trying to get this electric fuel pump running again. And then we're going to see if it actually pumps fuel from the tank that we just professionally re-sleeved. There we go. Varnished fuel from the 90s. Now it's cleaning up. There's our clear fuel. Oh yeah, I think we're good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put a new fuel tray on. And then we should be able to click that pump back on. See what it's doing inside the filter. We'll put a clear one in so we can monitor the amount of impurities. There we go. Looks pretty good. You can hear the bowl filling in the carb. We'll adjust that needle and see. We'll find out in a second if it's going to blow through it. Yep. Well, I do believe a guy has a stock float in here. It's been sitting for almost 30 years and probably varnished in a position. So when the fuel's coming in, that's not rising to make that, needle seat into the needle seats. So I'm going to go ahead and just toss what I can out of this kit into here. Just a quick, dirty rebuild. And then throw this back on the truck and hopefully she'll pop right off and won't flood anymore. We should go ahead and check the blood stick on the shift machine because if that's bone dry, probably should go ahead and change the oil quick. Then we're going to fire this thing up and we're going to let it run for quite some time. We got to make sure the head gaskets are working, the other gaskets are doing gasket things, bring some heat back into this thing slowly but surely, and then we can see if it actually shifts. Guys down here in Texas, I bought a Thunder Turd over in the garage there. It's in terrible shape currently. Decided to go ahead and try to tow her home, so picked up this Travelall. We're gonna see if we can get this thing fired up and idling here. Gotta check the transmission ATF. We got fresh oil in it. We did some ignition wiring. Did a fender rebuild on the fuel making happener. It should fire up and idle, well, in theory. So let's see what happens here. Might have to prime it here. There we go. See if that valve train noise goes away with some fresh oil. Put 2050 in it, a little thicker elixir. Fighting down a little. I think this is officially the longest it's ran in 28 years. It's pretty awesome. Just in idle and fix the vacuum leak on it. And I'll get to the air and fuel mixture screws in a second, which are back here. So I think the guy has some fuel delivery issues. This pump seems to be getting real weak. So I'm gonna make sure we're not pulling up any big chunks. I got that tore out, obviously. Gonna throw this hose on here and just use the old wind bag, see if we can get fuel free flowing. And if we can, then we know the tank side's okay. I've decided to go ahead and put a, mechanical pump, which is what was in it, and see if this will suck it lies. On the fuel, yeah, it's one less switch to arc out and burn the rig down anyway. miles of the fuel pump dry. Check our filter down here. Yep, it is full of fuel. We're back to where we were at 9:45 a.m. Yes! We should test the transmission before we call it a night. Wow, this thing is a smoker. Why do all our cars, the radio works when you touch weird stuff? Drive! Yes! Oh man, we got a runner. Yep. Well, hey, the truck is running-ish. It's getting better. The smoking has calmed down a little bit. And it's moved about a foot. A foot of 800 miles we've still got to travel. And remember, we're not just traveling in this. We've got to figure out if we can pull that thunder turd stuck in that garage. We're going to try to deal with that tomorrow, but first we still have to adjust brakes and tires and wheels and everything on this. Gonna let this run for just 20-30 minutes tonight, pack up, and then Texas things like steaks, wet the back neck, stuff like that. See you in the morning. Hey, it's day 2 down in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. A guy bought a 68 Thunder Turd. It's stuck away in a shed over there. It's in terrible condition, which is perfect. But I decided to try to pull the thing home and work on it properly in my shop back in Tennessee. So we acquired the Travelall. We got it running yesterday. We did a bunch of work to it. It moved a foot. So we started this morning off by putting new glass in it. That makes sense. Now, today is brakes. Since we're going to be pulling a car that weighs 11 million metric tons, it's got to stop goodlier, kind of-ish, you know what I mean? So I'm going to start with the master cylinder, snap a couple lines off, start replacing those, work my way to the wheel cylinders that are bad, bend the drums off that we can't find, they're irreplaceable, and then go from there. All right, let's dig in. Over on here with the cylinder of masters. Guy hit it with my earth pounder. It's not really doing anything. I'm assuming the seals on the piston that racks back and forth in here is just completely gone after sitting for however many million years this has been sitting. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this master cylinder off. We're going to bleed another one, hook up the lines. This is all in theory and hopeful. And then we'll try to gravity bleed this and see if the wheel cylinders are still going to work. Chances are they're just full of powder and are going to go and then we'll be digging into those. Truthfully, this is going to be a delicate procedure because you cannot find these drums. You cannot find them. So getting them off is going to be delicate, getting them on, all of this. If they're bad, we're going to have to pretend they're good. But by the end of today, we need to have brakes in this thing because we have a long drive back, 800 miles towing in this vehicle. This show should just be called Driving Cars Without Brakos. I've determined the brakes are bad all over the place. The brake line, rubber brake lines in the front were just so old, they were just pinched closed. Think of it like a garden hose, and if you were to step on it, the fluid might be able to barely get through, but it's not going to come back. So we needed to replace the lines. Unfortunately, we're learning that International had zero consistency or quality control on virtually anything except the window cranks, and the brake parts all over the place. In this particular vehicle, the fitting on the lines do not match the replacement rubber hoses. So now I need to make my own little line with an adapter to go to the new line, to go to the smaller adapter, to go to a barrel connector, to go to the fitting on the truck, to go into the hose. Dr. Seuss brakes.
We don't have a bench vise, so we're over here using our Travelall, and we're just gonna make some fittings right here. This is my life. I just realized. There you go. Brakes by Bieri. They'll barely work, but they'll slow you down. We were able to get juice out of this wheel cylinder, so now we just need to take 74 hours and do the other two. Well, let's do the front one first, and then I'm going to decide if I'm even going to attempt to do the rear. Hey, the brakes are done, or at least good enough. You know what I mean? So now I'm going to start cleaning the inside out. I got tires on the way. They're in the route, but not here yet. So we can't do that. So I'm going to go ahead and get all this stuff out of here. The feller we bought this from, well, he wants to keep some of this. I was looking forward to the shop vac and the igloo cooler, but he wants it. So we're going to start getting some stuff out of here and transfer it over to his truck. Lampshades, big mouth bass. These are the ones that talk on your wall, you know. Batteries is dead. That's too bad. Should we look what's in here? Nada. This is a nice cooler. Must have been a mobile welding rig. Say this fella liked lamps. I got updates. So it runs, it shifts. We cleaned out the interior. It's snazzy. I mean, they put seats in it, and house carpet, and spray painted everything. Baby blue. Looks pretty good. We think the brakes might be good. Actually, I was just getting ready to go test that. And then I was letting it run here, and the water pump went out. It's weeping out of the weep hole, which is a telltale sign you need to change this thing now. Also, I discovered a massive intake leak by spraying everything with brake clean, and sure enough, she's revving up on the drinker side of the engine over here. And that's why we got a weird idle and hesitation and down on power. So instead of test driving this and potentially leaving late tonight, early tomorrow morning after we dig out the Thunder Turd, we're tearing the truck all the way down. Sweet. Let's get after it. So this thing that looks like a Lego is actually a water pump for Internationals. The problem is we have a different style water pump. There's two. This one is a big threaded nut that holds the fan and the pulley assembly on, where this is an updated version. We need to convert this because it's very difficult to find the big threaded nut. Talked to an international expert and he mentioned a hammer and a big chisel, and then I thought, aha! What if we just hit it with the gas axe? Can't be tied if it's liquid. We're going to cut this whole fan off because we actually have a different fan and fan clutch. Then I can get access to this water pump, take it off, take the pulleys apart, convert the pulleys to this water pump, and then reassemble everything. And by late tonight, hopefully we'll have the water pump done. Then I'm going to decide if I'm actually going to dig into this intake or if we're just going to deal with it running on 6. Now I'm going to get on every international blog and just be like, torch it off. You know how rare those are? It only needed everything. We found a 4-barrel intake for this particular engine that we think might fit, and a 4-barrel carburetor. So this little feller's coming off.
and we're going to put the 4-barrel on because I have to take that off anyway to change the gaskets. We might as well spice this up a little bit. We're going to want some HPs under us if we're going to be pulling that Thunderbird back. Got the old intake off, which, by the way, weighs about 92.6 pounds at minimum. Here's the old intake gasket, and we can see right here corrosion from the top side. So that would be our intake leak that I found with a can of brake clean. So all of that work for this cheap little gasket. Sweet. But we're going to fix it. We're going to make it more gooder too by putting that fair barrel on there. Get some more HPs out of it. Valiant effort was given, but I'm going to shut it down for tonight. We did get the 4-barrel intake on. We have interference issues with the fuel make it happen, unfortunately. Every time you rock the throttle, it lifts the carb. Going to look at that tomorrow. It's going to involve part stores and stuff like that. I also have a new fan over here that was supposed to work on our water pump. That's not working on our water pump. But there's good news. I have tires and wheels to show you in the morning, and we're still going to attempt to pull the Thunderbird out of that garage and pull it home, although we are very much behind, but it's only 800 miles. We'll be fine. See you in the morning. Back on the Travelall. Boy, I was thrashing on this late last night, trying to get it running, but we were missing a few key pieces. We're still trying to get this Thunderbird out of a garage 100 yards from here, and I'm tied up in this thing. We have got to get it out today for a couple of key reasons. One, the raccoon decaying in the corner over there is really starting to get in the wind bags, you know what I mean? Also, there's 2,000 popsicles being moved in refrigerators, and apparently they have a sit time of about 52 minutes. So, I've got to get the fuel make it happen on, get the fan back on, the radiator in, all that stuff, get tires and wheels on this, hook a chain on that T-Bird and get it out of that garage ASAP, then 800 miles home. Hey. Smells like a riverboat porta potty. Stings the eyes. Please run better. We got a new fan clutch in here, which is the updated version instead of the giant screw-on clutch. Got the old Radulina Jolie here. See if we can get this in. Just gotta go at an angle. Get around the hoses. And then you tilt this way. Oh, that wasn't bad at all. Not going to put the old fan shroud on because it's held together with 74 different types of wire. I think I saw a shoelace in there and part of a TV dinner. I really never want to see this truck again. But I have to drive in it for 3 days. Hopefully just 2. No, it'll break down and be a week. Yeah! Gotta go back to basics. Spark, fuel, compression. I'll figure it out. Don't worry. Don't worry, I said! I'll figure it out! Okay, sorry I got mad. Okay, I'll fire up the corn binder here with its new get-up. Yeah.
There we go. Gotta keep it running. Our battery's dead. But we need it to charge. Don't worry about that. The only thing this is gonna pull is ex-wives. Oh, great. So now we can hear the engine's not doing this, wandering all over the place and idling there. That was the bad intake gasket. Got that resolved. We'll let it sit here and idle because I gotta charge up the battery. Whoops. And then I gotta show you guys some really cool tires and wheels that are period correct, suit the truck well, hook onto a T-Bird, see how much power this thing has. So believe it or not, these used to be chrome. They sat so long it actually rotted holes right through the wheels themselves. So we were forced to get wheels as well. Like the white leather, of course you gotta go with white leather, but these are more of a light duty tire. We went with a little bit more heavy duty KO2 all-terrain by BFG, and then the old cheapo white steel wagon wheel. Can't beat these things. They look pretty good on most trucks, and it's period correct for this guy. So I'm gonna bolt these on quick, and then we can go for our first drive. So I'm gonna put this air cleaner on quick so we're not sucking insulation. Then I'm gonna jump in. We're gonna do some yard braking. We don't have power brakes yet. We'll fix that later, but I still should be able to romp on the brake pedal and bring this thing to a stop. Oh man, I think that's probably the best brakes we've ever had in Roadworthy. Oh yeah. Let's go get a Thunderbird. Working on the car we came to Texas to get, the 68 Thunderbird. Now, worst case scenario, all four wheels would be locked up. So now we're going to navigate it out of this broken concrete garage thing between 2,000 popsicles and crates and other obstacles, probably got 3 inches on each side somehow, and try to steer this thing whilst skidding. And then we haven't even talked about figuring out how to make it roll, get on a dolly, and travel back to Tennessee. But I did get a chain on it. We also got wind and 3.5 tires, old bias plies, thankfully, so they held a little bit of air. So we're gonna back the rig in here, give it a tug, and just play by play, I guess. T-Bird's outside for the first time in almost 3 decades. We almost took a garage down and we melted 2,000 popsicles, but we got it. This thing did fine. Travelall update. Hey, we got this thing fired up after sitting for like 28 years or whatever it was. Drove it 100 yards, and then its first job again was to pull a car. I got a sticking throttle issue that's weird with the shifter. They're combined somehow. Also, I think we've developed another fuel leak on the fuel tank, so I'm gonna do the right thing, try to find like a boat tank or something, throw it in the back seat, because we're just out of time. We gotta make some miles down. Now we're gonna switch our attention to the Thunderbird. I gotta get the tires unstuck, get it on a dolly, and then we're gonna hit the road. This is a drive shaft to a Ford Thunderbird. It's got 19 new joints for some reason. Pulled this out so we could freewheel this thing. So when we're pulling it on the tow dolly, it's not spinning the transmission in neutral as well. So basically the only thing spinning is the rear axle, which has its own gear oil, obviously. So we're gonna mount some fresh tires on the old wheels so we don't blow one of them. I got some sort of fuel tank, rigged that into the Travelall, and we're finally on the road. All of this just to get this T-Bird back to Tennessee. It's gonna be a fun project though. Keep going. going, keep going. Yep, keep going. Up, up. Okay, back. Well, it took some time, but we got her going. We had to put a fuel pump in this thing, brake lines, brake master cylinder, brake booster, intake gasket, 4-barrel intake, new carburetor. We put some rad hoses in it, belts, and a really sweet NHRA fuel tank. But it runs, it stops, and the radio almost works. Now we're gonna see if it tows a Thunderbird. So far, she's pulling great, as long as it don't fall off. And if it does, I guess we're gonna see how fast the old Travelall goes. Speedometer says 80 right now, so that seems to work fine. Got no temp gauge, got no oil pressure, got no fuel gauge. Actually, I do have a fuel gauge. It's called, look, we're about half a tank. I think I got a motor mount out. And I could tell because when I hit the throttle, the shifter moves about 7 inches. But we don't need both of them. That's why they make 2. Should talk about my goals today. It was to drive halfway, but that's not going to happen. So the goal now is to go 121 miles to get Onion Volcano, which is what my boys call hibachi. But then I'll be happy. If we can make it that far, it'll be dark, get some good hibachi, see how many miles we can put down tomorrow. I ain't got tail lips or lamps, turn signals, and none of that stuff, so... Something is terribly amiss. Yeah, let's pull off here. I got a lot of smoke in the cab. Yeah, it smells like transmission fluid or something. Oh, they're really smoking. It's still running. Well, we've pulled over to the side of the road. This thing is smoking like crazy all of a sudden, right when we got to about 55. This is not good. So that's going to do for this episode of Roadworthy Rescues. A guy managed to get this old Travelall back on the road, kind of-ish. Only made it about 100 miles, and now I've got, well, it looks like transmission oil puking everywhere. But stay tuned for part 2 to see if I can haul this old T-Bird back to Tennessee and do some work on it.